Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all of those that are joining and all of those that will be joining within this live session. As you can see on the screen, I am with Amarah Kayani, who's an upcoming and very talented young nasheed artist from Nottingham, from my city. So it's a great honor and opportunity for me to give this platform to her. But before I go into all of that, I will just recite some verses of Surah Al-Mulk so that we can formally start, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير صدق الله العظيم. So that was Surah Al-Mulk. The reason why I do like to recite some verses of the Quran before I start, and the reason why I mention where I'm reciting from is so that people that are watching can follow along as well. And Jazakallah khairan for all of the love, and those people are joining me as well. They can comment, and inshallah their comments will be discussed within our conversation, inshallah. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With me today we have Amarah Kayani, sorry. I did tell her that I do know somebody called Amarah Kareem, and it's going to be very difficult for me to say your name without any offense to Amarah Kayani. So Amarah Kayani is involved with a lot of things. She had been a co-host on Radio Dawn. She has competed on big nasheed competitions, and she's also involved in teaching and reciting nasheeds, teaching daf and things like that. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, Amarah Kareem. How are you? Amarah Kayani.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you? I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I think the first stage in introducing somebody is making sure you get the name right, so I do apologize. Amarah Kayani. Just for the sake of everybody that is watching, and if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So such a young sister, and she's achieved so much in such a short time. Alhamdulillah. So can you tell us a little about yourself and how you got interested in nasheeds, and what are you doing right now within the nasheed field?
So I got into nasheeds. I used to sing at family gatherings, and on the way to school, we used to drop my brother off, and then I used to go to school. My dad used to play nasheeds in the car, and I'd just sing along with them. And then, so he was definitely a big influence. And then my mom and my brother, they'd just be playing nasheeds around the house. Whenever I went to my halas, my charjas, everyone would be playing nasheeds. So I kind of just picked it up like that. And then my Jaja used to take me and my little cousin to his radio show. We kind of started presenting, singing a bit more. And then I started going to classes with Mystic Beats, Auntie Robina, and I started learning more from there. Then I went on the Young Muslim Talent Show, just before that, I was in a competition. I was one of the finalists in the Young Muslim Star Awards, and
Wow.
then I went on to the Young Muslim Talent Show. I was co-hosting on there with Sister Auntie Ulfa for just over a year, and then me and my little cousin started our own show. But we still go on to the Young Muslim Talent Show as guests sometimes.
All right. So you have your own show right now on Radio Dawn, is that right?
Yeah, it's called Noor Al Hadi.
Noor Al Hadi, mashallah. So those people that are listening, just maybe that aren't aware of your Noor Al Hadi show, can you tell us what time that comes on?
So it's on Radio Dawn 107.6 FM on a Sunday at 7 p.m. onwards.
MashaAllah, 7 p.m. onwards. And obviously, for people that don't live within Nottingham, you can access the radio station online as well, radiodawn.com, I believe. Inshallah, that is something to look out for. That Noor Al Hadi show, Noor Al Hadi, on Sundays at 7 p.m. What's the kind of context? What do you talk about in your show? What is it?
So my little cousin, Umhani, we always start with Dalavat. So she reads Dalavat, and then of course I read Nasheed, Naat, and then we read stories, mostly for children, because that's what our show, our main aim is. And then we also read hadiths, quotes, so we do a mixture of things. And then sometimes we have special guests that come on, and maybe they read a Nasheed, they do some Dalavat, etc.
Wow, so it's about trying to engage the youth and trying to get read stories to them, like story time, but Islamic story time.
Yeah,
MashaAllah,
definitely.
that's actually really good, MashaAllah. And it's a good
Exactly.
time, especially for children, because 7 p.m. is usually just before they go to sleep, little kids.
Yeah,
So that's a very good time, MashaAllah. Um, Also, as you can see on the screen here, um, Amarah Kayani is on Instagram, Amarah Kayani underscore Nasheed. And you can also learn Nasheed and Duff with her online. Make contact through Instagram, of course, to book lessons. So these lessons that you're doing, the Duff lessons and things like that,
yeah.
would you like to tell us a little bit about that and how you got into teaching Duff?
So right now, I'm doing nasheed and duffing lessons, mostly with children and women, and I wanted to get into them. I wanted to get into them before what's happening right now, but because I feel like children need something to do, and I think that's it. Duffing and doing nasheeds is just a beautiful way to spend your time. So I wanted to start that, and also um, people were always there's like people, women and children, they're usually asking me, "Oh, I want to learn the duff. I want to learn the duff. Can you maybe start lessons?" So I did it after quite a long time. I did it, alhamdulillah.
You know, definitely it's a good thing that you did because any little that you know, whether you know a lot about that thing or you know a little bit about it, any little that you know about it, it does go a long way. Because
Yeah,
myself, I don't know if you're aware of it, but I do have a YouTube video on the basics of Duff. I made it a very long time ago,
yeah,
and it was something just I think a couple of friends were telling me, why don't you make a little Duff tutorial? And so I made
yeah,
it, and I literally know nothing about Duff. Absolutely, that's whatever's on that Duff tutorial is all I know. I probably know a little bit more,
yeah,
um, but really basic stuff, right? Um,
yeah.
and that video has just gone viral, and so many people recognize me through that video, and they say, you know,
Mashallah.
I learned stuff through that. So
Yeah,
you don't know how even your little amount of knowledge, how if you're sharing it on social media, how
yeah,
far it can go and how much you can benefit
yeah.
people.
I mean, my knowledge, the knowledge that I have, isn't just for me. It's to share. That's why if I have knowledge, and I have that knowledge to share it. It's not just for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so your screen is a little blurry, so I do apologize for people that are viewing. If you would like to go on and come back on, go off and come back on again, we can do that
All
just
right.
to make sure it's not so blurry.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
Um, yeah, so we are with Amarah Kayani, and I've had some trouble with the connection since I've started this live feed with her. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is right before we get into the discussion properly. But what we're discussing here, we're discussing different aspects of nasheed, how her own experiences reciting nasheeds were, the struggles that she had coming up, and the sort of things that she had to deal with, the confidence issues, and other aspects. And inshallah, what we can change and we can bring within the new community, the new generation of Muslims living in Britain. And so we have Amarah Kayani with us. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When you come to learning a new Naat, right?
Yeah.
You've obviously mentioned Baji Rabina Deen, right?
Yeah.
So is she your teacher in Nasheed and Daf as well?
Yeah, so she's my teacher and she's under. And then also I learned a few beats from my other teacher, Auntie Shabana as well.
Oh, I know Siobhan. She works with Baji Rabina Deen as well, right?
No, I know her because every month there's a group of us and we do a collection of kids. We do the Shimmering Lights every month, which is a collection of qasidas. So that's where we kind of all met each other.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Absolutely amazing. So there are networks where sisters are coming together and sitting together and reciting Nasheed and trying to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam through that. So that's absolutely beautiful. What advice do you have for the young generation of Muslims, people that are your age, people that are younger than you, that are interested in coming up to nasheeds? How should they really go about it? Do you have any advice for them?
My advice, I think I would say, continue with your passion. Don't let anyone get in the way with it, because at the end of the day, it's got nothing to do with anyone else. It's just to do with your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Absolutely. That is a very, very beautiful advice there. That is really only about your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's about trying to create that connection with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam for other people as well. Trying to join their hearts to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Absolutely. So within the field of nasheed, within the nasheed world, do you feel that there is something that you could add to the world, to the nasheed world, that you would like to bring? If you ever had the opportunity to work on a bigger platform, maybe you raise your own platform and your own profile on social media, do you feel that you could do something positive to enhance the nasheed world?
I'd want to enhance the nasheed world. Well, because my main aim is to encourage other children, because at the end of the day, they are the future. I want to like open my own nasheed school. So nasheeds and Naat school, teaching nasheeds, teaching stories, hadiths about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and just teaching them about Islam, but also teaching them how to sing and etc.
Absolutely. We are having some difficulty with the connection with Amarah Kayani, so I do apologize. But inshallah, we will try to manage, and I hope that the people that are watching will bear with us, inshallah. So, moving forward then, since you've been reciting the sheets, in all of the years that you've been reciting, in all the years that you've been listening to Nasheed, and you've obviously had different experiences and you've read in different gatherings, what's your most
Yeah.
memorable moment, or what's some of your most memorable moments that you've had within reciting Nasheed?
I think I've had a few memorable moments. My first one will be when Habiba came to Nottingham and I performed there, and it was something different. Like I'd never done that before. And then my second most memorable moment was when I went to Birmingham, and I performed at the Heart Community Centre. I don't know what it was. There was just like something there. Like I could feel it when I was singing, and I had such a connection with the people there as well. And then also my Sheikh Mohammed had been there, I think once or maybe more. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why I felt the connection.
Yeah, there was definitely an atmosphere of spirituality that you saw and you
Yeah,
felt experienced at the Heart Community Centre. Is that what you call it? Heart Community Centre.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely, for the people in Birmingham, they should definitely check that out, and maybe they also will feel some kind of spirituality that's there as well.
100%.
Um, just for the benefit of those people that maybe haven't heard you before, would you like to recite one of your nasheeds? I know you do like to recite with Duff as well, so maybe you want
Yeah,
to recite with Duff today.
okay. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله صلى الله عليه. قمر 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 سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل وكف مصطفى كالورد نادي الله الله وعطر يبقى إذا مس الأيادي الله الله وعمن والوها كل العباد وعمن والوها كل العباد وعمن والوها كل العباد حبيب الله يا خير البرى يا قمر 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 سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل وهادل له بل كان نورا الله الله تنال الشمس منه والبدور الله الله ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا ولم يكن الهدى لولا ظهورا وكل القول على بنور طه قمر 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 سيدنا النبي قمر وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, that was absolutely beautiful, MashaAllah.
جزاك
Yeah, of course. So that was absolutely amazing, and I'm sure you can all appreciate the sort of talent that this young sister has. And if you want to learn more about her nasheeds, you can go and follow her on Instagram on Amarah Kareem underscore nasheeds. And also, if you want to learn how to play the duff, she's teaching the duff and just general reciting nasheeds. On also you can contact her through Instagram. She's offering those online on Zoom and Skype and things like that. So definitely do check her out, inshallah. So back to the discussion that we were having. If there was an opportunity for you to recite in front of your a nasheed artist that you really look up to, you've listened to, through your years, who would that nasheed artist be?
Alhamdulillah, I think I've been blessed to sing in front of quite a few nasheed artists now. I think who I was one of the people that I was excited to sing in front of was Pillars of Islam, because personally they're a big inspiration to me, because they sing qasidas. I'm really into qasidas, and they play the duff, djembe, and I think a few other drums and the guitar as well. So I think they're a massive inspiration to me. And when I sang in front of them, alhamdulillah, I felt so happy when I sang.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just again, if you could leave the conversation and come back, because there is your screen is blurring up. We didn't have this problem before, but I don't know why the conversation is happening now.
Okay.
So I do apologize once again. We did have some trouble connecting her to start off with before we went live, but I thought it was all cleared up. But there is some issues, I believe. A camera or whatever the problem is, there is a blurriness, and I didn't want to have the whole interview like that, because it would spoil the conversation that we're having, and it's not really fair on her. She's got a lot to say, and she's got a lot of very bright and beautiful ideas for the future, and to really take things forward. So I do want to share those ideas with you, inshallah. Inshallah, we'll learn more about the sort of ideas that she has with nasheed, how to propagate and spread nasheed, inshallah. So we're back with Amarah Kayani, and it's a clear screen, so hopefully it should stay clear, inshallah.
Inshallah, we'll say it like that.
Inshallah. So you were mentioning who you've had a chance to recite in front of.
Yes, I've had alhamdulillah, I've had the chance to recite in front of quite a few people. For example, Pillars of Islam, Mika Umala, Khalil Muhammad, Amina Sultani, now I'm trying to think, what's Ali Abbas, now I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, alhamdulillah, I've had the opportunity to sing in front of quite a few people.
Absolutely, that's amazing. So something that does come to mind is that maybe people that are also within the local communities that do have a talent for reciting nasheed, they probably don't have that exposure, they didn't have the right contacts, they couldn't get really far within nasheed. So do you feel that there does need to be a platform that is working within the grassroots, like whether it's a record label or it's some sort of, because I do know that there are nasheed classes out there. Do tell us a bit about what Sister Rabina Dean is doing with Mr. Beast.
So Auntie Ravina, she teaches, she does nasheed classes, and she also does duffing classes. So I think that's where, but she doesn't just do that though. She gives a platform for us as well, and then we get used to being on stage talking, because when you have a performance, it's not just about singing nasheeds. You have to know how to speak as well, and I think that's a really important. You have to have that skill, and it's a hard thing to get, and it takes a few years even, which is a really long time. But alhamdulillah, I think it all pays off. But she definitely was a big role in it, and I think going on speaking, because I used to go to 5 ways before everything happened with lockdown, and we used to have like stories. We used to have assemblies, and they used to read stories, hadiths, nasheeds, and of course you have to introduce yourself. And I think that was a big part of my learning as well, because I learned how to speak once again. I was learning, and it just does never stop, because you just get better. And obviously you need to know how to introduce yourself, how to close yourself off, and so they were definitely both a big role in that.
Absolutely. So it's more to nasheeds than just being able to recite nasheed. There's a whole not performance, but more like presenting yourself, presenting the nasheed in front of people is really important to know how to do that, and really get through the nerves and have a mentor that can help you through the stages. And like there are these circles and these classes within Nottingham. Can you imagine if we had similar circles on the same level throughout UK, where every masjid or every small community had these kind of network, these little classes and these platforms, and they're all working in sync. So
Yeah,
anyone that graduated from these
definitely.
classes had the same exposure. Sorry, you're having trouble with the connection.
I think it's frozen a little bit.
I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
It's okay. It's okay. It's both of us. A little bit. Sorry. Sorry. So I think that they do need these platforms. Did you say for like Quran and
Yeah,
such as
of course. So where we have like we're always looking for the right tajweed teacher, very qualified tajweed teachers,
yeah,
and the right sort of exposure. Because there's one thing knowing how to recite the Quran with tajweed, but then having the knowledge to be able to present that tilawat in front of big audiences, that confidence and really getting through the nerves and all of that. Um, do you feel that we could really expand on the Naat classes and develop it further into different aspects?
definitely, because when you're singing the sheads, you need to know first of all what you're singing. You need to know um you need to have that confidence. The confidence is a whole other thing to just sing in the sheads. And then yeah, definitely I definitely think that we need to expand on it further.
Yeah, there's so much scope and there's so much area for development.
Yeah,
I feel that especially growing up myself, it was a choice I had to make. I was kind of forced to make whether I wanted to become a nasheed artist or whether I wanted to become a student of the deen and an alim scholar. But it really shouldn't be these two separate factions. It should be the same thing. Our
yeah,
courses and our nasheed classes and our Quran classes need to come together. And when
definitely.
and when we have this separation, it tends to become two separate groups that are promoting themselves separately. So you either have nasheed artists that have these massive platforms, or you have scholars that really don't have any kind of exposure or to social media. And I know a lot of people that studied with me, and they have a lot to say, and there's a lot of positivity that they could share, but they don't have that experience speaking on camera, speaking on live, where they said to me, "Look, I'm camera shy." And I go, "You've had so many years of learning. So what do you really have to say about that?"
I think they could be a really big inspiration to us, but of course, it's a camera shy. But I think there should be a place within the community where, like, for example, the young generation can be together, but then learning Islamic knowledge, but then not only learning Islamic knowledge, presenting it to each other, because that's what's going to build your confidence. Then that's also what's going to increase your love for the deen, because you're learning. So I think there definitely needs to be something in the community for that, and that gap needs to be filled.
Absolutely, absolutely. And where there are nasheed events and big scholars come and they do events for the community at large, and they do speeches and seminars and lectures. Um, More so recent times, because of the lockdown, there's been a lot of scholars that have come online doing lectures for the kids because they are at home. But do you think these sort of events should happen more and more, where big scholars, big celebrity nasheed artists are coming and speaking to the nasheed classes and the students of the nasheed classes?
100%, because I think that would be such a big inspiration for us, because as obviously I grew up, well, I'm still growing, but like when I was going to nasheed classes, etc., mosque and stuff, you didn't have like big nasheed artists and um, sheikhs and stuff, and people like that, scholars coming in and teaching you stuff like that. And I think that would be such a massive inspiration, and I think children especially would really enjoy that, and they'd be excited. They'd be excited to go to mosque. They're gonna meet someone, like they're gonna meet a massive nasheed artist. Like, you'd be excited. So I think definitely that would be something nice to put into the community.
Absolutely, it could inspire a lot of people to come to the masjid. Some
Yeah.
people might not be interested because at the end of the day, look, if you make something very theory based, tajweed, you can make tajweed as fun as possible, as fun as anything, and you can make it very dry and boring as well. If you just
Yeah.
look, this is the scorn, this is jazm, this is idgham. You can make it very boring, and you can make it okay. You got homework, go do your homework, come back, and it's just like school again. So,
Yeah.
if you're making it too, you got to make things fun and make activities and make workshops so big celebrities are coming in and
Yeah.
really motivating the students to continue their studies.
Definitely, 100%. And I think that will get children, because you normally you go mosque just after school. School is like the place you have to get your head down. You have to get on with things. You get homework, etc. But then when you go to mosque, you want to have that fun time. But you're learning, but you're having that fun. It's a bit more fun than school. So I think that would be a really nice thing to put into the community, especially in mosques, masjids, when the classes are going on.
MashaAllah, absolutely. And I do think that masajid that are listening or will be watching this, that is something positive that they can take from it, inshallah. Um, so moving forward within the nasheeds, do you think that there should be a modernization? I've asked the same question to different people that I've interviewed, and they've given me different answers based on their own experience. So do you think modernization of nasheeds should happen? Um, because some people are saying that this modernization is going too far and is crossing the boundaries a bit. People are, it's making it sound too much like music and Western music, and they're losing that true essence.
I think it's up to each individual, honestly, because I think in particular for children, they get they can get really into nasheeds by listening to more modernized versions because they like the style more, and that's what the younger generation like. But I think as long as you have a connection with Allah and the Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then there's nothing that can be better than that. But I think at the same time there is kind of a line to it. Like you can't have like like proper pop music in the background and stuff.
Yeah. There's a very, very fine line, isn't it?
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, it all boils down to your adab and the sort of love and connection that you have with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how much you're promoting that within your nasheed. Um,
definitely, 100%.
are you promoting different things and trying to establish a different type of culture and trying to imitate a different culture, or are you trying to um, revive the love and ignite the love and nurture the love of Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam within the hearts of the children, inshallah, that you're trying to promote the sheets to anyway. So, okay, we've spoken about all the serious stuff, inshallah. Now we go towards the more light stuff and fun stuff, inshallah. So, I've done this a number of times with other people that I've interviewed. It's been a while for me, actually, because I've had a bit more serious interviews in the last
Yeah,
week. So, it's a good time to blow some steam, inshallah.
yeah.
So, here we are. Um, what we're going to do is I'm going to mention a number of nasheed artists,
Okay,
and I'll add a few Naat Khans at the end as well, because I know that
okay,
Amarah Kayani, sorry, does recite in Urdu as well. Um, so I'll have a bit of both, and what I will do is I'll ask one or the other. I'll ask for one name or the other. So that doesn't mean that which one she thinks better. That doesn't mean that the other one doesn't recite that good. It just means that who she listens to, who her own preferences. Okay. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Do you personally listen to Sami Yusuf or Khalid Sadiq?
Sami Yusuf. I,
Sami
I
Yusuf.
think, yeah, I like Sami Yusuf's style, and he does quite a few languages. I've like listened to a few Khalid Sadiqs, but I'm not like proper. Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. So another thing I would like to mention, obviously, Amarah Kayani did really answer that really well. But one thing I will say is that whenever we do compare, whenever we're saying why we like a certain person, let's not talk about what we don't like about the other person. but we're only talking about what we like about the first person. And that's not to say that it's not within the other person, but we've only followed that person because of this. So Sami Yusuf, again, you said that because he recites in loads of different languages, and it's something that you really enjoyed that about him. Okay, out of Mahir Zain and Mercy Curtis.
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
That is a hard one because they read a similar style, don't they?
Yeah. I think right now, I think Masood Curtis.
Wow. Okay, Mercy Curtis. Okay, so he's on the rise. Do you think? Do you think Mercy Curtis is on the rise a bit?
Definitely, 100%. I mean, I went to where did I go? I don't know what city it was in, but before, a few months ago, I went, like, it was like a concert sort of, well, it wasn't a concert, it was like a nasheed, and Masood Curtis was there, and like, you know when you listen to someone on a video and then you listen to him in real life, like there's a difference. And mashallah, I just really enjoy listening to it. And like there was a few nasheeds I didn't hear before, that I hadn't heard before, but then I just really liked them as soon as he sang them. So I think I think he definitely Masood.
Absolutely. Oh, was it the same event with Ahmed Rabbani as well? Was it Mercy Curtis with Ahmed
Yeah,
Rabbani?
yeah,
Okay, with I believe it's with Salam Charity.
yeah. It was, yeah.
Yeah, Salam Charity. Yeah. They're doing a very good job, and Ahmed Rabbani just toured with them quite a lot as well. So
Yeah.
moving on to Ahmed Rabbani, then,
Yeah.
would you you prefer Ahmed Rabbani or Hamza Khan?
Oh, that's a hard one
It's a
because I
very,
feel like they do kind of similar.
mm,
They're quite similar. Um, I think I've heard more of Ahmed Rabbani, so I think I'm going to say Ahmed Rabbani.
okay, that's fine because you've heard more of
Yeah.
Ahmed Rabbani, of course. So out of um, I'm gonna mention three names, and you tell me which one you like better, right?
Okay.
Pearls of Islam,
Okay.
Mikhail Mala,
Oh.
or Iman Farrar. So I'll say those again: Mikhail Mala, Iman Farrar, and Pearls of Islam. What's your top three? Yeah, do like a top three. So 1, 2, 3.
You know what? That's so hard because like Gomeron is like everyone when they hear like they think oh Amarah is Gomeron, but then Pearls Islam like I know them and I'm just like I can't pick between. Okay, so shall I start from number 3?
Oh, as in the one that you like least or the one that you like most? What's number 3?
Or should I
Least.
start most least? Okay, so I think
It's hard because you don't want to offend anybody. But we're
yeah,
not
that's
trying either. We
so
just
I think at the bottom I think Imam Farrar. In the middle I think Mikhail Mala, and then at the top I think Pearls of Islam.
okay. So why have you chosen Pearls of Islam? What connection do you have with Pearls of Islam that you like?
Well, I think they're just like because we're all into qasidas and they also play the duff as well. So I think that's a big thing within it. And then I've also they're really really encouraging as well. So that's really nice. And I think I've met them a few times. I think I know them quite well as well. So I know a bit more about their personality.
So when you listen to the nasheeds, you feel that connection with them because
Yeah.
you've actually met them and you spoke to them
Yeah.
and they encouraged you and there's a whole relationship you have with them. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so wrapping up now, we're coming to the end of our discussion, inshallah. Is there anything that you would like to add that we have not mentioned within this conversation?
I think
points.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We've hit all the points, alhamdulillah. So, within these interviews, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm speaking to different individuals. I'm speaking to Naat Khans. I'm speaking to nasheed artists. I'm speaking to people within the educational field. Um, where do you think the scope is, or do you think we should stick to Naat, or do you think that we can go further than this?
I don't think we should stick to I don't think we should just stick to knots. I think like open it wide. So like for example, reciters, Quran reciters. You know, like at the moment, people are really interested in what the NHS. You know, like
Oh,
people that work at the NHS, etc. You know, them like key workers and stuff, and like scholars, sheikhs, etc.
absolutely. That's really brilliant. Do you have anyone particularly that you want to see next um, within the next few sessions? Like out of the different categories you mentioned, who would you be most interested in watching?
I
Like,
think the sheet.
mm,
The Shiites, I think I'm going to say pillars of Islam. Um, with Sheikhs, I think I'm trying to think maybe Sheikh Ahmed.
mm.
With scholars, I can't really think at the top of my head. But with Quran reciters, I'm thinking my I'm thinking my little cousin. That's what I'm thinking. But I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So, but the issue is, would your little cousin be willing to come on live?
yeah, I know I think she would.
All right, okay. Well, definitely. Then we can try to arrange that. After Ramadan, I think
Yeah,
it won't be as regularly. It won't be every day.
yeah,
Maybe two, 3 times a week. So
yeah.
we'll have to see which days are available. But we can definitely try to arrange that if she's interested. How old is she anyway?
She's 10.
Ah, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it would be nice to get a younger person on and see what their ideas are as well. Okay, so that brings us to the last part of this, and I think she's looking forward to this a lot because
I
she.
know. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a bit nervous at the same time.
Mm. Yeah, and also she did say that she's seen other people do this challenge, so we'll see how she manages with it, inshallah. Um, Again, it's not a challenge. I'm not competing with anyone here. It's just a friendly little jamming session. We just get loads of different nasheeds in, make it all fun. Okay, so the way this works for the people that are watching for the first time is that Amarah Kayani here is gonna recite one line of a nasheed or not, or whatever, English, Urdu, Arabic, and the last word, the first letter of that last word, I have to start my nasheed or not with that. So if Amarah Kayani can start.
I think we're صلي يا سلام على الوسيلة والشمس العلام طلعت ليلى.
Layla. Oh, by the way, that was absolutely beautiful. It was the first time I heard that nasheed, but it ends with Layla, right?
Yeah,
L. Okay, L. I've not
that's
done
a
an L.
hard one.
I've not done an L before in a while, but okay, we can do this. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah, Ya Maulana, Muhammad Rasulullah, Ya Maulana, Maulana M.
Um, You know what? As soon I was like waiting for you to I was sort of wondering, oh, what letter is it gonna be? Because there's some hard letters in there. But um, my heart is so full of longing. I wish to be close to my beloved. I dream to walk in the streets of Medina and to quench the thirst of my spirit by visiting you, O Muhammad.
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So M. You got a really nice voice, mashallah.
Jazakallah.
Took me by surprise, alhamdulillah. M. Okay. Uh, hmm, okay. I'm a bit stuck on it. Okay. M. Okay. We can do something with M. मैं लजपालां दिलर लगियां मेरे पल्ले भरे रहंदे रहंदे is the word रहंदे is R. I have one in mind. If you stop,
Yeah.
Mahzin Ramadan. We're in the month of
Oh
Ramadan.
my gosh, do you know what the worst thing is? I literally just put a post up on Ramadan on my Instagram and it didn't even come up in my head. Oh my god.
Okay, go for it, Ramadan.
Okay, Ramadan, 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 ya Habib, Ramadan, Ramadan, ليتك دوما قريب, ليتك دوما قريب.
Okay, so mashallah, I think we'll leave it there because that was a beautiful. As we're coming towards the end of Ramadan, that's a very nice place to end on. I'm sure a lot of people appreciated that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in all good, give you more himma and courage to go further, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your voice and bless all of the work that you're doing and all of the students that you have on Zoom and Skype, and inshallah all the missions and the sort of ambitions you've been speaking about within this discussion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow it to come to fruition in the best of ways that is most pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do remember in du'as within this last few days of Ramadan, inshallah, within the next coming months, if you have anything that's coming up or there's a new nasheed that you've researched online or something new work that you're doing, then we can maybe reconnect and we can try again to speak on it, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So, is there anything that you'd like to say about how the interview went, or maybe some nervousness that you had before? But how do you think it went today?
Alhamdulillah, I think it went quite well. It was, my favorite. I like the games at the end. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, that's the thing I was most nervous about. But at the same time, I was most excited about them as well. So alhamdulillah, I think it's gone really, really well, really, really well. And jazakallah for having me on as well. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And likewise, I think though you were nervous, but you did really well in the Nasheed challenge, and mashallah, you did really well, inshallah. Very beautiful voice. So do follow her on Instagram, and then if you also want to learn Nasheed from her and learn how to play the duff with her, then you can do that through Instagram. Do make contact as well. So Amarah Cream _ Nasheeds. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.